But he can feel my heart. Sometimes it feels like the world's moving on, or it feels like I'm already gone. Some say that's just a sign that it's right before dawn. I say the only way I can describe it is sometimes I'm watching my son on his bike and I feel like a ghost on the lawn. I feel like the host and the best of me fed something else and I'm fit to be pawned. I feel like the very last fish in the pond. And tonight they'll be flooding the valley and I'll be alone in the reservoir, endlessly carrying on, deathless and bound, down to a depth I attempted to sound until I thought maybe my sound was gone. Held in a prison whose walls my fists have been pounding on, whose CCTV turned to a live stream soon as the stream of the reservoir split the walls. And I didn't make waves or a scene, I kept my head down and I drowned to embrace it all. Found what was left of myself caught up in a tangle of trees and debris when the waters receded, and maybe I'd needed that all along. Maybe my peace is the breath of relief in the break of a song. Maybe I'm right at the peak of my being as soon as I speak the last words aloud. Through the fury of my heart beating, maybe I'm only deceiving myself. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm nearer to right than I'd like to admit, and it's why I'm convinced I'm splintering. Maybe the truth is once you let the light in, the brightness is fixed to your eyelids and there's no forgetting, no matter how heavy the curtains are drawn. Maybe I'm right at the peak of my being as soon as I speak the last words aloud, and then the moment is gone. Maybe I'm more than a ghost on the lawn. But maybe that's just what a ghost would be telling itself to attempt to keep calm. Maybe I'll try to disarm myself, only to find that I'm all of the wires attached to the bomb. Find that they run through the lines of my palms, and then learn the device is entwined in my final reserves of resolve. So that if it ignites, I might just step outside myself, place my concern for your current events on an often neglected shelf, killing my drive to create and then claiming defense of myself. And watching as everyone else just keeps revolving. Like maybe them forcing insolvency on us just couldn't be helped, or honestly, we couldn't tell. Maybe those questions are better off left to be muttered ad nauseum after I'm tossed in a cushioned and carpeted cell, singing the ballad of suicide hotline workers who know that they'd only be calling themselves. Who know we are stuck in the clutches of leaders who publicly honor the fallen, privately set up a system that sees to it we are eternally falling, and privately plot the demise of us all while they carefully measure the plots that we'll fall in. The mandatory mass grave cascade we are soon to star in. And I'll push the thought aside, like the fog of a chlorine gas hanging thick in my mind. And then I'm standing outside. I'm looking at the sky. I can smell the charcoal of someone's fire. I see my son out on his bike. In a moment that although I'm standing within it, I still feel it passing by. It's like it's fading into time. And suddenly it's 20 years behind.
score. How about you do some research before you come back for more? And somehow you're the one to play me like a fool. Well, let me tell you what's up. You're not that fucking cool.
It costs that much cause it takes me fucking hours. It costs that much cause I don't have superpowers. So you need to pay for my skills cause exposure doesn't pay the bills. It costs that much cause it takes me fucking hours. You need to pay for my skills cause exposure doesn't pay the bills. It costs that much cause it takes me fucking hours.
God damn it, I knew I was going to have the wrong open. I was like, this is all last minute shit. That's fuck, I would do a quick one tonight. I was feeling kind of lacking because I was going to do an extra Bulla regular show, but I couldn't get a hold of anybody that I want to be on the show this week. And next week there might be a show before Thursday, because next Thursday through Sunday, a friend of mine is got us passes to the the New York Comic-Con, so that'll be fun, hanging out with the nerds, all us nerds together. So it's usually a good time. So we'll see how that goes. So maybe there might be an early show next week, but no secret shows next week. So Jimmy gets a vacation. So I popped her up. I guess that was the thing. It was like we get to have a little bit more Jimmy tonight, even if it's just like for a couple seconds on the open. So anyway, how's everybody doing? Check out the chats here. Got Denver and Dingo on the Rockfin. It's good to see y'all, and good to see everybody watching over there and on the YouTubes. Let's see who we got here. We got Miss Jimmy. Hi, Miss Jimmy. We got Miguel and Les Bones, one of our producers. Good to see you. Jera's here also, and believe, is that everybody? We just got a nice little quaint crowd here tonight, so nothing crazy. Like I said, this was just kind of a last minute. I'm not sure if I'm going to do one or not, but turns out I did. Ed Heller says, I can't stay up to watch. I wanted to say the clone bellows will be found. Yes, and I'm assuming you're talking about Brit Cabela, the British Kit Cabela. That's always good. SFT, good to see you too. It says SF space T, so I'm not quite sure. Is it San Francisco T? Are you SFT? You have to do that pause. I can call in duo Skype sometime. I'll tell you what's up with KC Tenets. Okay, I don't know, that sounds like some serious shit. You know this ain't no serious show. Look at this hair. You think this is serious? Look at this Bob's. I got the Bob's big boy hamburger hair. Ever since I started cutting this thing, this hair is just going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So anywho, let's get this out of the way. Please, if you're new to all this bullshit, please like, share, and subscribe. Don't take my word for it. Take the chicken's word for it. What the hell? You motherfucker. Yeah. I'll see you in hell, chicken. Speaking of chickens, do we got chickens? Let me see if I got chickens in here. I got some chickens. Hey, look, hey, you know what? Good news, everyone. See, that's Professor Farnsworth from Futurama. You're not down with that. So, let's see. Hopefully this works. Chickens. Hey, look at all them chickies. Chickadee doodahs over there at Chicken City. Check out the Chicken City live stream. It's always a good time. Who we got up here? We got full house. Look at all those birds up top. Got about 2 or 3 down in the cheap seats. Always a good time. Nice to see the chickens. For a while there, when we came back last week. Oh, God damn it, you again? No, Satan bird, go away. So last week, chicken side-eye, that's right. Cock-a-doodle, I'll fuck you up. So last week, the chickens weren't there. Neither Friday nor Saturday night. And, you know, so I was worried. I was like, well, why are you showing an empty chicken coop? And, okay, so stoners watch this channel, this Chicken City channel. Right now, there's 32 people. Wait a minute. Yeah, there's 32 people. I know you can't see it with the thing, but there's 32 people watching this. All right. So last week, there was no chickens in there. It was blank. There was none in the coop. And like 40 people were watching. Straight up stoners smoked out of their gourd talking about like aliens and shit in the chat. It's awesome. That's why I like that channel. It's good and it's good for you. So if you like, that's kind of my thing. I like chickens kind of calm the nerves a little bit, you know. So if I'm in a foul mood, I just, you know, yeah, all right. So anyway, what happened? So, oh man, there's no restream. Sorry. There's usually chat in the restream. Oh, there we go. I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's gonna be kind of a shorty show. Just want to we would talk briefly about Hurricane Ian. And you're like, well, no, Unc, it's a tropical storm now, man. It hit Florida. It's done, right? No, it's not done. So basically it crossed over. It went northeast. It started in southwest Florida and it just went northeast. And the thing was so huge, it covered the entire state. And they said there's about 2.5 million people down there out of power. So but our pals Reef and JB from RBN and Chris from Political Matrix and Glory, they're all Florida people. I'm sure there's more Florida people down there too. So I hope they're all okay. There have been no reports to the contrary. Oh yeah, they said that yeah, they had one hell of a bladder. That this was a once in a 500-year storm. I don't know about that, but no, it was a hell of a storm. I don't know if you've ever been through a hurricane before. I've been through several. When I was a kid, probably the worst one I remember was Hurricane Frederick back in 1979. I was a little puppy back then, and it was crazy. It was like, you know, they tell you, like, if you hear freight trains outside when all these tornadoes whipping by, because that's the thing with a hurricane is basically just one gigantic tornado, right? It's just huge. It's just not as concentrated as a tornado is as far as like damage is concerned. And so, you know, but it's just a slow moving thing. It churns and it just like just the winds are bad, but the worst part is if you're on the coastline, it's the storm surge that comes in. And the storm surge can be really bad because when Katrina hit the Gulf Coast, basically a water tornado. Just a gigantic water tornado. They said it was a Ian was category 5, and it just downgraded to a 4 when it hit Florida. And at that point, the eye of the storm was 35 miles wide. This storm was just huge. And like I said, once it got on land, it was just there was rain all over the state. You couldn't miss it. I talked to Reef, the host of Reefer After Dark, and he's over there up in the Panhandle. He said he was okay. They said they barely got anything, so that's good. We always worry about our peeps, especially down south. When Katrina hit back, there was like 30-foot storm surge that came through. It came in. It's like a tsunami, like a storm surge. People don't understand what a storm surge is. It's like a tsunami, right? There is video. I don't know where it is. I don't know if I can pull it up or not. We'll see. We'll give it the old college try. Let me see if I can find this. There's this cat. Let me see. So this guy, I don't know. He wasn't in Tampa. I'm not quite sure where he was. See if I can find this. Damn it. Of course, when I need to find something, I can't do it. God damn it. Hey, look, there's some asshole live on Twitter. That's neat. Wait, what happened? Okay, so earlier today, I found this video. Oh, here we go. Let's see. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this or not. We're going to, you know what? We do it live because that's what we do. So this guy, so like what happens is when this tornado is out in the middle of nowhere, like that, it sucks in the water, right? It sucks in the water, and like that, it sucks in the water, right? It sucks in the water. What the fuck was that? Oops. You're not supposed to hear that. Hang on just a second here. I know what I'm doing wrong. All right, let's try that one more time. Okay. So, all right. Anyway, it sucks in the water, and so like the water that was in Tampa Bay got sucked out. And so there was like no water there. It was kind of crazy. And then okay. All right, let's try this. Please. Why is there no sound? That's interesting. Sharknado. Yeah, exactly. So it sucks all this water up, and then as it gets closer to land, it starts to slow down, and then the water starts coming back. So then it ends up like a tsunami. And let's see if this works. Hello? Okay. And
PM update.
Okay. All right. So anyway, so there's this guy. This was from yesterday, I believe. This guy Roller on Twitter. So let's see if we can make this happen. There he is. Okay. So this guy, he's going to show you what it looks like when there's no water in the Gulf of Mexico. And hit it.
All right, 6 p.m. update. Palm Harbor, Florida, Gulf of Mexico. Okay, 12 hours now. There is no water in the Gulf of Mexico. This is something I've never seen. I sure hope it doesn't come back all at once. But I tell you, this is bizarre. Millions and millions of gallons of water have just disappeared. They're probably all sitting in somebody's town down south. But I can tell you, I could literally walk half a mile out there. I
That's
won't
crazy.
do it because it's probably pretty soft.
That is
And
crazy.
not even seawater. Anyways, usually, as I said, water is up to the line on the wall, and it goes to Texas. I can probably walk halfway to Texas. So I just hope it doesn't come back all at once. That could be a little scary. I mean, usually, you can't see all the way, but it's miles and miles of just grass, seagrass. I'll update again, but there are billions of gallons of water that need to come back. Stay safe, everybody. Update probably tomorrow, because once it gets dark, I won't be able to show anything.
Spoiler alert. He didn't post an update. Let me see if I can get a better picture. This guy just kind of like flashed it, but look at that shit. Okay. That's supposed to be water. That's supposed to be the Gulf. And it looks like grass. It looks like somebody's big ass front yard, right? But like where this dock is, I think, let's see. Let me see where the water line was. So he's yakking. Okay. And then the water line is supposed to be, okay, so there's that, which is spooky as fuck. And then you get over here, let's see, so the water is supposed to, man, look at that. That is messed up. Ooh, that kind of, I know Jimmy's kind of freaking out. Jimmy and I have the same fear of water. And when water disappears like that, it's supposed to be like, however tall that is, was like 2 or 3 feet. Yeah. So isn't that crazy? It is. I'm always fascinated by like hurricanes in particular. I know Jimmy said I can't watch it, so scary. But there wasn't even water. I know, right? Their water used to be there though, right? It's like, okay, it's like if you play Grand Theft Auto 5 with the mods. There's a mod where you can get rid of all the water, and like all the water, so like in the canals, in the ocean, in this jug, all the water gone. And so you can like drive in the bottom of the ocean, and it's got some spooky shit down there too. It's like so freaky. Woo! But yeah, so the hurricane, it sucks in that water, so it pulls in the water, because it's like you're stirring, instead of the centrifugal. You would think the centrifugal force would go out, but it pulls it in as it gets to that shallow water. But then as it gets closer to land, that water has to go somewhere. So then it comes back in, and it's usually just like this giant wave. And it's like a tsunami. It's not like a wave that comes crashing in. It's just like water that flows and flows, and then it gets higher and higher and higher. And like I said, when Hurricane Katrina hit, back in 2005, that's what happened. It was like 30 feet tall. Think of like a 3-story building water, coming in just constantly, right? I mean, people's houses. I mean, there's along Highway 90 on the Gulf Coast. There used to be all these old antebellum homes and stuff, like right there on Highway 90. And been there for like 100 years. And after Katrina, it's like somebody just put their arms on the poker table and raked in their poker chips. Only the water pulled these houses into the Gulf of Mexico. So like tens, maybe 100 houses. That's probably a low estimate. Is in the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico. So like, we can't breathe underwater for a reason. I don't want to know what's under it, right? Water's spooky. So anyway, now Hurricane Ian, like I said, it did like a northeasterly path. It cut across Florida, last night and this morning now, and it became a tropical storm. It dropped down to a tropical storm, and then once it hit the Atlantic, which is still warm, that southern Atlantic water is still pretty warm this time of year, and that's what feeds the hurricanes, is the warm water. And so now the hurricane, and now it went from a hurricane, see, it went from a category 4 when it made landfall. Then it was a tropical storm, and then it hit the Atlantic. Now it's a tropical, now it's a hurricane again. I think it's a category 1 now. So, and it's making a beeline towards the Carolinas. So if you're in the Carolinas, particularly South Carolina, because I think that's the one that's going to get the brunt of all of this, be very careful. You know, if you've never been in a hurricane before, try not to, if you think you're in a low-lying area, prone to flooding, try to get out as soon as you can. Try and find a place, higher ground somewhere, some sort of safe shelter in your area that you can go to, because that's no joke, especially if you're near the coastline. That water will come in and it will fuck all your shit up, including you. So if you're in a place that is solid, you know, it's a pretty solid structure, you're up on high ground, but you still have to worry about winds and tornadoes and stuff like that. So, you know, my old man always used to say, you hear a freight train outside, you get to the middle of the house, try and get under a mattress or something like that. So because they sound, those tornadoes, they sound like freight trains, and it's pretty scary. So yeah, I went through Hurricane Fred in 79, and Elena in 86. Then after that, not really. There was like some minor hurricanes that had come through, you know. Yeah, flooding isn't not a swim situation. It's more like keep driving. If you're on the road, yeah. If you're on the road, you know, get somewhere safe. But you know, if you're already home and it's too late, you know, just try to do the best you can to make sure that you're you know, you're try to be as safe as you can. So yeah, it's kind of ironic, you know, as someone who's kind of deathly afraid of, you know, big water like that. I've always lived near a big body of water, you know, born in Chicago. So I was near Lake Michigan, grew up on the Gulf Coast. So I was near the Gulf of Mexico. You know, then I went out to the West Coast. So I was near the Pacific. Now I'm on the East Coast next to the Atlantic. So it's like, I have this healthy respect for the oceans and big bodies of water like that. I'm deathly afraid of them, but at the same time, I love living near them. You know, it's just like this, it's kind of like, I don't know what it is. It's just kind of like this big brother is just there. You know, it's like, don't piss off big brother because it'll fuck you up. But, you know, big brother is also pretty cool. And, you know, it's just, the ocean is just like, you know, how can you not respect it, you know? Yeah, that is fucked, Denver. But yeah, you know, I think I grew up as a Southern Baptist, but now I'm not so much of a religious person. But if I were to worship any sort of deities, it would probably be water and the sun, because you can't live without either one, and both of them can kill you. So wait a minute, are we getting raided? Is there a Twitch raid? What's going on here? What the hell is going on? Hello, the Punisher 2022, you and your crew, welcome. We don't have any snacks, unfortunately. We ran out, but somebody is on their way. Schlatsky, what's going on? Good to see you. We were just talking about hurricanes. We got Hurricane Ian heading up the East Coast towards the Carolinas. So if any of you wonderful folks who are on the Twitch. If y'all are in the area of that, please be safe and let us know if you're okay. You know, send out a shout out. If you do that Facebook, I am safe. I mark myself safe. Yeah, mark yourself safe if you're safe. You know, so, and I hope you are. Good to see everybody this evening. It's a little impromptu, a little Thursday night. You're like, wait, this ain't Friday, this ain't Saturday. Where's Jimmy? You know, she's here. She's in the chat. Freaking her out with all this this water talk. She don't like it. I don't either, but I have a healthy respect for it. So, but yeah, we're gonna have a little shorty show tonight. Figured just hop on, say hi to the kids. Hopefully, everybody's having a wonderful Thursday evening / Friday morning, depending on your part of the world. So yeah, that's going on. I'm not quite sure when it's supposed to hit. When is it supposed to hit? Let me look up something real quick. We're gonna do a little something here. We're gonna the magic of television. Let's see if we can do this without fucking too much shit up. So we shall see. Okay, you can go away. Now let's try some of this. Okay. And let's see. All right. So, where was I? So we can just take a look at. I always wanted to be a meteorologist, but I didn't have the patience for it, and I never could figure out how to do the green screen thing. You know, well, over here we have a low pressure system coming in. That's going to bring in some lower temperatures for your evening commute. Let's see if we can do this. Survey says, okay, so this is the shit right here. As we things, you know, when you engineer a show by yourself, kind of fun, a little scary sometimes, you know. Let me see here. So this is where it's at right now, and let's see. So what it had done, it had cut across like over here. It started here and then went like this, and now it's going up this way. So it is already, I think South Carolina is getting a lot of rain right now, or they're about to get a lot of rain. So this is probably going to happen within the next few hours. So like I said, if you're in the area, please be careful. And Uncle Warren loves you. All right. And if you think you're going to perish and you have a lot of materials, goods, just make a quick will out to Uncle Warren. I'll be sure to pick that up wherever it floats to. I'm just kidding. Gallows humor. Come on. That's no good. In other news, so Trevor Noah is leaving the Daily Show after 7 years. I don't know. I stopped watching the Daily Show after Jon Stewart left, and mostly because I'm racist. Wait, what? I don't. I mean, I didn't like his politics. I didn't like Trevor Noah's. It just kind of became a shitlib cheerleader, you know. It's just what happened? What happened to that guy? SFT, are you causing trouble in the chat? Is that what's going on? He's dating Lana Del Rey. Trevor Noah, really? Hey. I know, right? This Daily Show stuff. And none of those late night shows appealed to me personally. I mean, you can remember, you know, here's a hint. I'm old. So I remember the Johnny Carson days. Johnny Carson, then you had Late Night with David Letterman. when he was on NBC. Like, oh man, talk about that. Those were the days, right? Gen X had it good back then because Carson and Letterman were so good. Parents would let you stay up and watch those shows, and even if you had school the next day, still, man, stupid human tricks. He used to get out. What was it? I can't remember which studio he was in. Can't remember where Letterman was. I'm not quite sure where he was. He ended up in the Ed Sullivan Theater when he went to CBS, but I can't remember what studio he was in New York. Well, was it at NBC? Was it like at 30 Rock? That's where they did it, right? They did it at 30 Rock. Yeah. Over at Rockefeller Plaza. You know, smoke more weeds. Tony, you're kind of preaching to the choir here. So, the studio Conan was in after. Oh, okay. So, what is Trevor Noah? The Trevor Report? Yeah, Trevor Noah just kind of came out of nowhere, just like this South African comedian. And I guess they said, all right, well, you know, we had an old white guy for like 16 years or however long it was. Now we're gonna have a young black dude. So totally flipping the script, which is fine. I mean, I got no problem with that. The problem was that the fact that he was him and Stephen Colbert. Oh, Stephen Colbert, what happened to you, brother? Yeah, he did. Dave didn't like that Johnny gave his slot up to Leno, and it turns out Leno is he's like a super nice guy in real life. So it wasn't like, you know, how do you be mad at a really nice guy like that? But you know, yeah, I don't know. I think Dave was better off going to CBS. He didn't need to. He needed his own thing. He didn't need to take over the Tonight Show. Everybody and once Johnny Carson left, Dave was the guy after that. Nobody liked anybody else. And now when you got Jimmy Kimmel, I think Jimmy Kimmel's here in Brooklyn. He usually does his show out in LA, but he's here in Brooklyn over at the at BAM, over at the Brooklyn Academy of Music, which is right around the corner from me. Les Bones, what's the name of Dave Letterman's production company? What is the name of his production company? We will tell you later in the show after I look it up. Wait, what? I mean, I know it has something to do with pants. Production company is... what is this? Worldwide Pants. That's what it is. Worldwide Pants. Oh, thank you. Yes, Worldwide Pants. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Jay Limo. Jay Limo. You stupid. Yeah. So back in the day, late night TV was a little bit different. You didn't really have you had all kinds of weirdos trying to take on Johnny Carson. Well, not weirdos, but just like some of them were kind of odd. You had Arsenio Hall. He was on I think he was in syndication. I don't know if he was on Fox per se, but I know he had a late night show in the late 80s, early 90s, I believe. And Chevy Chase tried to have a late night talk show. It lasted like 5 minutes. There were some other ones too. Can't remember. But Johnny was king. Dave was the prince. And then once Johnny retired, Dave became king. Carson Daly. Oh yeah, Carson Daly. His was actually after Letterman. Well, was it Letterman then? No, I think Letterman had already moved to CBS. So you had Leno, and then you had Conan, who took Dave's old spot, Then you had Carson Daly, that show that nobody watched. So, oh, come on, Yona. Craig Ferguson. It's just because you're racist against Scottish people, Yona. Jesus. You know, lighten up, Francis. He was. I didn't watch him. I didn't watch him too much either. It's only because it was just too late. I think I had an early job then, but he had the gay robot sidekick. Can't remember his name, but yeah, he was. And Craig Ferguson just a horn dog. He was just he was totally just he was hitting on all the women that would come on that show. He gave Scots a bad name. Yo, no, you're like the only person I've ever known that just doesn't like Craig Ferguson. Also, I'll tell you though, there is a movie he is in that's really good, and he grows weed in the movie. It's called Saving Grace. So if you ever find a movie called Saving Grace with Craig Ferguson, you know, he's actually pretty good in that. He kind of plays it straight in there too. So you know, he's got a little bit of range. But we actually went to go see him here. He was on Broadway. He was doing stand-up on Broadway. His stand-up's pretty good. He was talking about toilets in Japan and how they, you know, they're bidets and they wash your ass. Woo, wash your ass. And also that he said, how can people wipe their ass with toilet paper? He said, if you have dirt on your arm, you're gonna take some paper, or you're just gonna no, you're gonna wash the shit. You know, you use soap and water. Oh, you saw that? Good. Yeah, so if you haven't seen that, folks, it's a great little fun movie about this this widow lady who her husband dies and she's broke, so she has to grow weed to make money. It's it was before the Showtime show Weeds, though. I think it predated that show Weeds, because she was kind of the same thing. I think her husband left her or something, and she was broke, so she had to, but she didn't grow weed. She sold wing. She was a slinger. She slung it. Or maybe she was a distributor. But the lady on Saving Grace, she was actually like, she grew like these really beautiful flowers. She would always like win these flower contests and shit like that. So he brought her so Craig Ferguson brings her these sick, pot plants, and I don't mean sick as in cool, I mean sick as in ill, and she nursed them back to life. Just beautiful, just it's a really, if you're a stoner, I highly suggest checking that out. So all right, easy, Yona. Cool your jets, mister. This is a family show. Manson family, but still it's a family show nonetheless. But anyway, they didn't say who's going to replace what's his face from the Daily Show, but if it's they'll probably replace him with somebody like him, someone who is willing to toe the line, much like Stephen Colbert did. Punisher saw an episode of Will and Grace one time. Does that count? Close, but no weed plant. Sorry. We have some nice parting gifts for you. Johnny, tell them what they've won. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that's too bad. Nikki Glazer. Okay. I don't look. I fell off the map when it comes to new comedians and stuff like that. I don't know any of these new comedians. I'm stuck in the past. I like my old comedians, and I don't really like anybody new. It's like, well, you should try. There's new people. They're cool, man. Come on. We'll see. Well, I'll take your word for it, Les. I think I've seen her somewhere before too. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, Motorcycles, middle of the night. The apocalypse is nigh. Everybody's getting ready. It's like Thunderdome. I do like new musical groups. Oh, I do like the roasts too. Those roasts are great. I'll still watch those roasts. I've been watching roasts forever. Like back in the old days, like when they had like Dean Martin roasts, they do them at the Friars Club. Everybody's drinking, smoking cigarettes. It was great. It's just like, just fucking ruining everybody. just hammering on each other. Although they still do that today too. Probably one of the better roasts that I've seen in recent memory was probably, I don't know, William Shatner's was pretty good. I loved William Shatner's roast. That was great. I don't know, man. It's just like you got Kimmel, you got Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers, just I don't know. I don't even, just, and the guy, who's the guy after Colbert is like some British dude. I don't know who that is. He's been in like some musicals. He does that carpool karaoke shit. Don Rickles. You got an old soul, Les. Talking about Don Rickles up in this motherfucker. Don Rickles was the best. He was so damn funny. He was like probably the OG insult comic that could just like, he's one of those people that he could curse you out and you'd just be dying laughing. You just couldn't be mad at the dude. He was just so funny. Yeah, that British dude is annoying. I don't know what his name is. If you know his name, that's fine. I don't really care. But late night shows just yeah, Mr. Warmth. That's Don. R.I.P. The whole Rat Pack gone. Every one of them. Rickles, Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis, all gone. No more Rat Pack. I think the Brat Pack is still around, but the Rat Pack, yeah, I know. It was an end of an era, But then you got to remember what kind of era they came out of. There was just like, those guys were just like, they were not very appreciative of women in those days, and so be careful who your heroes are, who you lionize as somebody that's cool, because probably in real life they're probably just a dick. Whether they say don't meet your heroes, or don't even meet people you like. Although I would like to meet, I'd love to meet Christopher Walken someday. If I could meet Christopher Walken, just say, hello, and just so he could say hello, and that'd be it. I'd die a happy man. The Cubs won a World Series in my lifetime. The New Orleans Saints won a Super Bowl in my lifetime. And if Christopher Walken said hello to me, that'd be good. Just lay out the deathbed. I'd be good to go. James Corden. Aw, Miguel. AWWW. Yes, Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers suck balls. But Craig, do you remember who the original host of The Daily Show was? I know you do, Denver, on the Rockfin. What was Craig's last name? Craig. No, it wasn't Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart was not the original host of The Daily Show. Craig Kilborn. That's right. Thank you, Punisher. Craig Kilborn. Yes, Graham Norton is really funny. He's had a show for like 30 years. That guy's never going away. But Craig Kilborn was originally, yes, he was originally from ESPN. He used to do he was like one of the co-anchors of Sports Center or something like that. He left. Craig Kilborn was also in Old School, that movie with Will Ferrell and Luke Wilson. So food for thought there. Yeah. And he played a dick in that movie. So he's not too far off type there. But yeah, he was the original host of the Daily Show. I think he hosted it like a couple of years. Then I know everybody forgets about Kilborn. And then Jon Stewart came along. Everybody like Jon Stewart, because you know, Jon Stewart back in the day was he was hosting a show or shows on MTV. You know, he was on there when they actually, around the time they were still doing I think they were still doing music videos. I don't think they do music videos anymore. But yeah, he Denver, I don't remember Craig Kilborn that much. I don't think because I didn't have cable back then. They say he was fucking great. He had that exploding head meme before one of the segments of each show. He built that show. Yeah, well, yeah, it was his originally. So, 2 years then Leibowitz. Is that his real name? Is that Jon Stewart's real name, Leibowitz? Are you spilling tea, Yona, about Jon Stewart? Yeah, so he was on MTV and then he ended up on the Daily Show. So not a lot of people know that. That was a while back too. That was 20 something years ago. So mid 90s, I think mid to late 90s, I think he started doing that. For the longest time, I thought Jon Stewart and Jim Varney were the same person. Jesus Christ. Kind of rethinking if I should have done this show tonight. Y'all pulling out the picks out of the tree of obscurity. Jesus Christ. Fucking Jim Varney. That's the Hey Vern dude. Hey Vern. Hey Vern used to do all those. He used to do a lot of regional commercials down south. He did stuff for like light companies, electric companies, and you know, like buttermilk. He did a buttermilk commercial. Meyerowitz, Gene Simmons. That's right. Yeah, I forgot that Gene the Dancing Machine. If you're really stoned and you want something really stupid to watch, check out Hey Vern, It's My Family album. I'm sure it'll be extremely hard to find. Yes, there's Ernest Goes to Camp. There's Ernest Goes to Jail. I think they were going to do one called Ernest Goes to Hell, or that was the rumor at the time. I don't think they actually did it. And now the dude's dead, so they can't do none of that. So it's kind of a moot point. But yeah, it was, you know, late nights were crazy. Late nights used to be really good. That was one of the things, like, that was like one of the things you waited for at the end of the day, was like to watch Johnny Carson, because the shit was so funny. He always had great guests on. And what's her face? God damn it. What's her name? Would fill in for him. Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers would fill in for him. And she was the first, she had her own talk show too. At one point too, the Joan Rivers show. But she was the first woman, I believe, to host a late night talk show. So yeah. So she was a regular, she was a regular fill-in for Johnny Carson. He would go on vacation a lot and have some fill-ins. Ernest is buried just down the highway from here in Lexington, Kentucky, his hometown. R.I.P. Joan Rivers. I know. I liked Ernest. He was so stupid, he was funny. And, you know, I think if you're a Southerner, you kind of appreciate that Ernest a little bit more. You know, because Ernest kind of reminds you of people that you know down south. So Ernest, everybody down south knows an Ernest or two. You know, a Hey Vern. You know, just like there's a Cooter, the guy from from the Dukes of Hazzard. And oh yeah, he died a long time ago. Let me see if I can look that up real quick. Jim Varney, when did you die? Jim Varney. He died in 2000. Yeah, so it's been February 10th, 2000. He died in White House, Tennessee. But yeah, he's born in Lexington, Kentucky. James Albert Varney Jr. was an American actor and comedian. He is best known for his broadly comedic role as Ernest P. Worrell, for which he won a Daytime Emmy Award, as well as appearing in films and numerous television commercials, advertising campaigns. Like I said, he was pimping buttermilk back in the days. So, you know, yeah. So anyway, Ernest Scared Stupid. Yeah, I think he did. I think he died of lung cancer. That's right. Yeah. So I enjoyed him when he was a kid. I always loved that kind of stuff. Apparently I'm not the only one who thinks Jon Stewart looks like Ernest. Look, I ain't gonna say because I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but I know somebody in this space that has a show with another guy, and that guy kind of looks like Ernest a little bit. He'd probably tell me to go fuck myself, but I'm not gonna say who it is. I don't want to embarrass the dude. So, yeah, say what you will about the Dukes of Hazzard. If you didn't like the General Lee with the rebel flag on the top of it. I mean, those characters were funny. Enos, Cletus, Cooter. The guy Cooter, that guy Cooter, he went on to, he was in the House of Representatives, I think, for Tennessee, I think. I think he served a couple of terms. Gamer, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Just like the guy on the Love Boat, Gopher, he ended up being in the House of Representatives too. He wasn't in there very long either, I think. Not Denver. I don't know who you're talking about, Denver. I have no idea who that person is that you type the 5 letters for. Yeah, that's right. Coolio passed away. Yesterday? Was that yesterday? Now he's really living in a gangster's paradise, or he's in hell. Who knows? He may have been a real piece of shit. What's up, Brief? Welcome to the surprise secret show. This one was actually a secret. The other one's not so much, but this one was actually a secret. This was like game time decision. It was about like 11:30. I was contemplating going to bed. I have some things to do in the morning, and no, Ernest was not. Coolio was not in Ernest Goes to Hell. Come on, we're trying to do mashups. Anyway, I was like, man, do I want to do a show tonight? And say, fuck it, why not? I didn't know if the shit would work or not. I used the wrong open. It was all fucked up. But anyway, it's fine. We got a little music off the top. It was fun. Oh, really? Name dropper. I managed to take a selfie with Coolio a few years ago. Oh, you have Ernest movies on DVD? That's nice. Ernest Scared Stupid. Denver was talking about Denver on Rockfin was talking about that. Ernest Scared Stupid. I always like my family album because it's just like kind of like little vignettes, right? And he just plays all these different characters. And my favorite part of that movie, he's playing this old man, and his son is like this 6 foot, 5, 300-pound kid, and he calls the kid Mistake. He goes, he's like eating, he's like breaking he's like playing with his toys and doing that. He goes, oh, that's okay. Break your toys. Daddy's rich. Daddy's rich. Daddy's rich. He's breaking toys. Hey, Signs, what's going on? Kelly, my love. You literally just got the notification. Ain't that crazy? I was watching Sabs earlier today. She was talking about that too, how YouTube is suppressing a lot of the creators. I mean, her and RBN, they're pretty decent size now. They've had a lot of growth, and so now they're getting a lot of suppression. So like little P's like this one with 260 subscribers, although we do have a pretty good amount of people. We're close to 1,200 people on Rockfin. That's subs, not viewers. I wish. But yeah, those that suppression is for real. So, and she was talking about how people sometimes wouldn't get the notifications at all. Sometimes they get the notification an hour in, just kind of like now. Yeah, they were on bad faith with Bree. Yeah, we saw a little bit of that too. Sabby had a really good show tonight. She had that student loan dude on tonight. I don't know if y'all heard about this. So apparently that measly $10,000 that Joe Biden was going to get people forgiven for student loans, like they were already means testing the fuck out of that thing anyway. And now it's like, well, we're gonna get sued, so, and this will fuck it up for other people, so we're just not gonna forgive any more debt. Sorry, screw you, hope you're okay. Yeah, that's all well and good. So was it September, October? So because in 4 months, I think the student loan, you gotta start paying back your student loans if you got those. Gamer, this is like your theme. I've seen you in the chat like in 3 shows today. Every goddamn time you said I gotta get up early Saturday. I'm pretty sure that's code for something, isn't it? Is that code for some, Gamer? Are you smuggling doobies? You're gonna get you don't have any tattoos, Gamer? I don't have any tattoos either. I don't have any tattoos. My body's a temple. I don't want to defile the temple. Yeah.
Groovy.
Goddamn right, it's groovy. I don't hate tattoos. I hate paying for them. So, that's my deal. I think one of my nephews got a tattoo, and I said, how much? It was like, it was like about yay big. It was colored. It wasn't like a, just a one colored tattoo. It's like a tiger's head or something. I said, how much you pay for that? He said, I only paid $400 for it. And I went, wait a minute, say that again. And he said, I only paid $400 for it. I had to spit take on that. But if you got a friend, I know, right? I think it is. I don't know anybody that I grew up with that has tattoos. If they do, it's like probably the girls do. The girls the girls who don't have like the sleeves or whatever, they always have that little butterfly in a certain place that only some people get to see. If you're gonna eat lunch downtown, you'll probably see it. I used to own a tattoo gun. I'm a walking doodle pet. I would get a tattoo from you, Jimmy. I trust you. Some of these other fools, not so much. I'll kneel to the Ginger Temple. And yes, ladies, the carpets do match the drapes. Wink. I don't know what that means. Tramp stamps. Tramp stamps is like a 90s thing though, and that's when it started. That's when those things started popping up. It was in the 90s, right? In the 90s, it was Gen Y that was waiting in line. Damn hairbands. Another life, I would get tattoos like the Undertaker. Right on. I don't know. Gamer says, I was thinking of becoming a tat artist, but not easy either, and got to be a good drawer and artist. Yes, you do. Nobody's going to pay you for a tattoo of a stick figure, or if you're playing hangman, pretty sure they're going to want their money back and for you to erase that shit or laser over it or something. There are no tattoos here, but I do like to watch Ink Master and see the artistry. Some of those, I mean, I got a buddy of mine. He cuts hair up on the Upper East Side. I used to work with him at Trader Joe's. Super nice guy. He originally from Vegas and moved here with his wife. His wife's a musician, very talented. She does like music scores for like independent movies and stuff like that. But he is just like, he's got the sleeves. I mean, you know, he's got the up to his neck and like his the whole thing. And that's a lot of needlework right there. I mean, that ain't like somebody taking a Bic ballpoint pen and drawing that shit on you. That's like a needle going into your skin like multiple times. So, I don't know. I would be scared to get that much work done. Right. I mean, I'd be scared too because it's too damn expensive. So, you could get face tattoo like Tyson.
You should, man. You should get that. You should get that Tyson tattoo. You know, he got that thing on the side of his head, you know. But don't make fun of how he talks, because he'll fuck you up.
Jimmy, you do not want a face tattoo. Come on. You're a beautiful lady. You don't want to look like beautiful Mike Tyson. I don't know. That's kind of weird. So anyway, so what I was talking about earlier, they pretty much said screw you with the student loans. You're on your own. Basically just how they've told us to go fuck ourselves this whole time. And I said on Twitter, I was really surprised that they didn't wait till after the elections to tell people to go fuck themselves. So I don't know, maybe they just feel so giddy about fucking people over that they just wanted to go ahead and get it out of the way now and tell people sorry, And then these fuckers that are like, well, I worked like 8 jobs and I put like 8 of my kids through college, so I paid for that shit. I got, you're an outlier. Not everybody can do that. All right, not everybody's doing that. What was it that she said on the show today? She had that dude, the student loan dude. I can't remember his name. Probably because I have stoner brain. I have stoner memory. And and he was talking about there's like, he said before the pandemic, there was like 40% of people with student loans weren't paying them back. And they figured by January, when it comes time to pay them back again, they said like maybe 20% of people will start paying their loans back again. They'll still run on this. They're going to run on all this shit they think that they did. These people are like, yeah, we did all this shit for you. It's like, what'd you do? Oh, we cut child poverty in half. Yeah, for like 6 months. And then at the end of the year, you didn't renew the shit. That's like this. I gotta go back to this. That's the Democrats, a big fat X for nothing. And that's the thing. They're gonna do the same shit. I mean, I didn't want to go off on a rant on this tonight, but fuck it. These motherfuckers, they promise all this shit. The squad are doing so much, and you know, all they're doing is all they're doing is just going along with the Democrats. You might as well just elect the Democrats. You know, yeah, that too. You said months ago that there will be no student loan forgiveness, but we just gave Ukraine another 13 billion. Yeah, the Senate passed that today, and but it's going to pass in the House. You know it is, and you know it's just, and then none of these people are held to account either. Yeah, they'll probably put more kids in cages. They already have more kids in cages than they had under Trump and under Obama. But you know, what's her name? The press secretary. That has got to be the hardest job in the world, to be the press secretary for Joe Biden, because you have to come up with some really, really clever excuses for the dementia riddled shit that motherfucker does. Right? What was that last video of him? He's on stage and he's like, and actually he's at a press conference. He stops in the middle of the press conference, goes off, and they're like, Joe, where are you going, bud? You, dude, I would have been there. I would have yelled out, dude, what the fuck you doing? You know, yeah, so anyway, so that's all the shit that happened today. There's probably more shit that happened. So yeah, the hurricane, it was a hurricane, then it was a tropical storm, now it's a hurricane, it's heading up towards Carolina. And then you had the student debt thing, Trevor Noah, you know, shutting it down. I don't know when I don't know when, see, because the Daily Show's on all the time. I don't know when their seasons start. I don't know when that's gonna take, that swap over is gonna take place, but I don't really care. I don't watch that shit. So press secretary is paid to be shit shield, known as dishonest and trustworthy forevermore. Oh, of course. You miss Jen Psaki? That's funny. She's on MSNBC. So she might George Tacky, the Sulu guy. The Sulu guy. I think that's what they called him on Star Trek. Fuck. Where is the Sulu guy? You set me up. Although that probably wasn't your intention. Hey, VS Adams, hello, how are you? Welcome to the middle of the night here on the East Coast. It is currently 1:24 here at the Brooklyn Bat Cave, and if you didn't see us before, please do as the magic chicken says. Ow! Ow! Hey! See, this is why I can't be a weatherman. My hand goes all over the place. Anyway, yeah, we're just having a chill little session here this evening, just kind of hanging out, just talking shit. There's the only way she becomes president is if Joe kicks the bucket, because nobody's going to elect her. She's not going to get elected. If Joe doesn't win re-election, she's toast. So anyway, what else is going on here? I hope everybody's having a good evening. I hope everybody's safe and warm, or cool depending on your temperature extremes. MSNBC and Jen Psaki were made for each other. MSNBC is known as untrustworthy corporate media. 8% approval by some polls. Yeah, Denver. I'm not surprised. And you're starting to see it. It's a transition away from legacy media like that. People, I mean, it's kind of like when cable came into the fray, right? You had a new medium, or at least a new outlet for news that wasn't traditional, like off the antenna, where you actually had to pay for news, where news had been free all this time. But then cable came along, and now it's like internet news is starting to do to cable what cable did to terrestrial TV. Although terrestrial TV will probably be around for a while. It'll probably turn into something else later on down the road. We checked in on the chickens. All the chickens are there. Do you want to see the chickens again? We could do that. I mean, I don't mean to be that guy, but I like chickens. I like chicken wings. Let's check in on them. Let's check in on them, shall we? So they're still there. Everybody's hanging out. And the guy at the bottom there looks just kind of sad, like he's, like pondering what's he done with his life, just how many lives has he ruined with his lies and his deceit? Oh, how can he be a better chicken? Wait, we still talking about the chickens? I mean, what happened? Sorry. Anywho, I wouldn't want to be press secretary for any of these motherfuckers. I'm not a good liar. I'm really not. I'll get caught in a lie every time. I'd be like, yes, has the president said anything about what happened to the pipeline in Russia? I'd be like, oh yeah, he blew that motherfucker up. He did it himself. He wanted to. He was in a helicopter. They dropped him in the water. He had some firecrackers. He tied it to him. And shit was good. He blew it up. I mean, no comment. Next question. That's the chicken from South Park, the one that survived. I know that chicken is sad. I feel bad for that chick that had his head down low, just like, oh, why me? Why me? Does poultry taste like chicken? Poultry. I see what you did there. It'd be no comment. I'd be the worst fucking press secretary ever. I can't lie for the establishment. Do that shit. The job of president, whoever takes the role will likely be in power during the country's demise. I have no idea when that could be. There was some poll on Twitter today that said what's going to happen first, like a civil war, World War III, financial collapse, and there was something else. And it was like overwhelming financial collapse. Yeah, Jimmy Dore has a nephew. He was on Hardlands Media this evening. Connor Dore is the kid's name, and he kind of looks like Jimmy too. So yeah, he's joining Hardlands Media as an intern. Is it intern? Or something like that. Anyway, he's a nice kid. So a little brash, kind of like his uncle. That's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I wouldn't be a good press secretary. No. I wouldn't. I couldn't even take the job. If they offered it to me, I'd be like, nah, I can't do it. Or maybe I could, just so I could fuck up that one press conference. I'd only get one. They'd only get one that I get to be able to tell the truth. And then they bring in the Secret Service and haul me off to a black site. And that's not racist. I'm just saying there's an actual thing the CIA uses. So, black. site. Anyway, so yeah, so you never see me again, and maybe that'd be a good thing. So maybe some people be like, oh yeah, you should be press secretary. But I just tell everything. It's like, yeah, we know about aliens. We've talked to them. Bush Sr. killed JFK. What else you want to know? Aliens came here millions of years ago and seeded the planet. And then they put me in the straight jacket, haul me off to the black site, waterboard. So it was Bush himself. He went in there. He went into the Twin Towers, said, Hey, where's this door go? All right, I'm just gonna go in here. I gotta go bathroom. I don't want to use public restroom. I'm pee shy. I'm gonna go up in here. I'm gonna pee in the stairwell. And then he did. He said off all the things. That was him. It was Bush. That is the stupidest conspiracy theory you will ever hear. That George Bush himself blew up the Twin Towers. So you just see him in there with the black cat firecrackers. You know, it's like they look like it's that whole row of firecrackers that they're all kind of tied together, and they look like little bitty tiny sticks of dynamite, and you light it and they go pop 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 pop. Well, thank you, gamer. But I would be lying to you. You don't want to hear my lies. Actually, you would probably want to hear that, but it lasts like 5 minutes. I probably get one secret out, and then the Secret Service is like, code buzzard, we have a leak, code buzzard. And then they come in, off you go with his eyes. Nobody knows that George Bush, I almost call him George Burns. George Bush has laser eyes like those fake communists on Twitter. You ever see those people on Twitter and their profile pics and they have the laser eyes? Because, zappity doo-dah. I don't get that. What's with the laser eyes? Anybody know what that's about? Laser eyes with those people? It just seems like stupid. I don't understand that. I know it's from The Boys, but that was before The Boys. That's before The Boys came on, right? That they started doing that shit. A Chinese steel structure skyscraper burned for hours recently, yet didn't collapse into its own footprint. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was like a couple weeks ago. There was this building in China, and it was just like the whole thing was on fucking fire. It didn't melt. Didn't fall down. None of that shit. Yes, The Boys on Amazon is really good. If you guys never seen that show, it's really good. I don't know. Who do you think it's going to be, Reef? Who do you think is going to replace him? My guess is it's probably that somebody that's already on the show. Because they went out of house last time. And this time they may actually get somebody from in-house. I don't know who that is because I don't know who's on that show anymore. And yeah, so yeah, Trevor Noah's leaving. He'd been there 7 years. Why would you? I don't get that. Jon Stewart, I can understand. He'd been there for like 16 years. And I think he kind of kicks himself that he missed the Trump years, but I don't know. I don't think Jon Stewart he would have gone after Trump a lot, but I don't think nearly as much as like these jokers like Trevor Noah and Steve Colbert and all these other cats. Oh God, the whole late night is just full of just shit libs, just awful people. It's just terrible. I don't know how anybody can watch that shit now, right? I mean, if you watch it for the musical guests, I guess sometimes. I mean, I kind of watched Letterman. I watched Letterman when I was younger, because he was funny. He always had some fun stuff, but he always had some good bands on there too. And but then once he got to CBS, kind of, I don't know. Sometimes he had good people on there, but it just wasn't the same. It was like Grown Up Dave, because when Dave, I mean, I think the Late Show started in '82. I want to say Late Night with David Letterman. It was great. You know, it was that show was one of the reasons why I wanted to move to New York, because it's, you know, like you'd see like these pictures of New York, you always see the iconic stuff on there, but Dave would always just have this random shit that he would show for his bumpers, right? You know, like coming back from a break or going to a break. It's like, you know, it'd be like some wino, you know, giving him, you know, or giving Dave the peace sign or something, or just be like some just random thing in New York. And it was always dirty and gritty. It's like, fuck yeah, that's the New York I like. Now you get here and it's like, it's all Karens and shit libs, and it's just awful. And Eric Adams is a piece of shit. Skit libs. Skit libs. Is that a cross between shit libs and Skittles? Yeah, right. When I first got here, I was only here a couple of years, and he was still on Comedy Central. So I got a chance to go see The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. I got to see a show of that, and I got to ask Jon Stewart a question. I can't remember the question I got to ask him. It was like one of those, you have the comedian that comes out, warms up the crowd. Oh, everybody, let's get energy. Let's get excited. You know, and you know, you're like, okay, I'll be excited. I'm just not going to be that excited. And then Jon Stewart would come out and he would ask questions, everybody. And I can't remember the question I got to ask, but it was a really good show. And then I got to see Colbert Report when he was on Comedy Central too. It was great. And now they're both just with Colbert with the vax scene at the dancing hypodermic needles, and then Jon Stewart giving medals to Nazis. I mean, come on, what happened? Anyway, yeah, but Late Night used to be really good, and then just I think once Johnny and Dave, for the most part, once they left, that was pretty much it, you know. Cat's Deli is one of the iconic images I have in mind of New York City. Really, Denver. I've been there one time. And only because I had a friend of mine from LA in town, and we went there. Bill Maher. Yeah, I'm trying to forget about him. I don't really count him as like a late night guy because he's only on once a week, and it's, you know, only shit libs watch that show anyway. But yeah, so buddy mine came in from LA, and I'll never forget that day. It was like in the middle of winter, and it was butt ass cold. It was so cold. It was like 10 degrees, and the wind was kicking up like 20 something miles per hour. So it was just like cut right through you. And he said, I want to go to Cat's Deli. It's like, all right. See, that's the thing. When you live in New York, you don't do the touristy shit, right? So since I've been here, I've never been to the Statue of Liberty. Don't give a shit. Haven't been to the Empire State Building. Don't give a shit. Never been to 30 Rock. Never done any of that stuff. Although I've been in Radio City Music Hall. I've been there a couple times for the NFL draft, but he wanted to go to Cats. Sorry, we're going to Cats. And we go there, and the food was good. I think there's a Mitch Hedberg joke about he said that's too much meat. He said that's like taking 2 pieces of bread and putting a cow in between it. So yeah, it was like these sandwiches. It was like bread, and it was like this thick. It was like all meat in the middle, and then they give you this plate of like 20 like dill pickle spears. It was the weirdest shit. I mean, the food was good, but that one sandwich was like 20 something bucks. Just a sandwich. Well, I guess with the pickles. Still, it was like, okay, we did this because you're a tourist and you want to do the tourist things. So, but he would always come in town for fish shows. Like Fish would always do these New Year's Eve shows, like 3 or 4 nights, something like that. There's one time he came in, they did 13 nights. They called it the Baker's Dozen. Fish did 13 nights of concerts in a row, and he said they never played the same song twice. It's like, Jesus Christ. We know you went to Radio City Music Hall just hoping to see some free snatch. You know, when I worked at Trader Joe's, there was this lady, she's a really nice lady. She used to be a rockette, and kind of a MILF too. I always used to flirt with her all the time. She's such a sweet lady. But yeah, I never went there for any of that. They used to have the NFL draft there, and I'm a big football fan, and so we would go to Radio City Music Hall, and we wouldn't go like the first day or the second day. It was always too crazy, too many people. But the last day there was hardly anybody there, or know some celebs I know. Who are you talking about, gamer? What are you talking about? Who do I know that you don't? I thought you knew everybody. Gamer, you're like Visa. You're everywhere. Yeah, I tell you, I have met a few celebrities in my time that I'm very glad I got to meet. You know, some people you're like, like I said, don't meet your heroes or whatever. I got to meet Phil Hartman. He used to be on Saturday Night Live. He was on News Radio. Died very tragically. I think his wife went nuts, killed him, killed herself. Anyway, you met Hulk Hogan. All right, brother. Yeah, I was working at a TV station in Mississippi. This was back in the 90s. So this was like around the time of, I think he was still on News Radio. And he was doing some charity event in North Mississippi. Him, Joan Van Ark, some country singer, and somebody else. I don't know. Yeah, Denver. Phil Hartman. Yeah, that was one of the ones. That was one of the great ones I got to meet, and one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet. And I had a video camera from the TV station, and I was just shooting B-roll for the event. Just it was just going to be our kicker. It was the final story of the news show for the something happy to go out on. Hey, there's the stars come out in North Mississippi for charity, and that kind of thing. So I got to talk to him and interview him, and he was just like, he was very, everybody else that I was trying to get like sound bites with, just kind of, kind of they're too good to be there. But he was just like a regular Joe. And he was like super sweet. And that was the thing, like when he died, I kind of took it a little bit personally, because I actually got to meet the dude, and I really enjoyed him on News Radio and on Saturday Night Live too. And, it's just so sad. It was the same thing with Robin Williams. I got to meet Robin Williams too, when I worked at Borders in Hollywood, and he came in and he was looking for a CD. He was looking for a Red Hot Chili Peppers CD, because this was before streaming, before Spotify and all that. We found the CD, and I told him, I said, hey, I was out in LA trying to become an aspiring stand-up comic. It didn't happen, but I did do stand-up comedy out there, and I really enjoyed the time doing it. But I told him, I never gush over celebrities or anything like that. There'd be few celebrities that would come in that story, but you know, it's business. You be professional, but this is fucking Robin Williams. I remember him from Mork and Mindy, you know, his legendary coke-addled set that he improv'd at, you know, live at the Met. And you know, fuck, man, this guy was like my comedy inspiration. So I got to meet him, and I told him, I said, look, I appreciate what you do. I think you're extremely funny, and I think, you know, that you've been a big inspiration to me. And he was just, you could just kind of look at, he had this look on his face, just like, you know, that's great. Well, that's great. You know, he was just like very sincere. You know, some people like that would just brush you off and go, oh, okay, thanks. And he was just like, he shook my hand. He said, man, that's great. Thank you. And he goes, thank you for that. That's very nice. And we had a cafe in our bookstore, and he went in there, just got a little cup of coffee, and he put a $20 tip in the jar for people, for the guys there. Everybody loved him. And it was just so sad when we found out he died too. Troy, I'm Troy McClure. You may know me from such films. No, I never got to meet Chris Farley. I got to meet Chris Rock. That was a strange thing. So yeah, Williams was a genuine guy, Denver. So me and a buddy, we were going to Comic-Con a few years ago, and so we were walking down 36th Street, going towards the Hudson River, where the Javits Center was. And so there was a Five Guys burger joint, and we said, let's grab some. Yeah, I prefer Chris Tucker too. I didn't really prefer Chris Tucker either, but I'll take him over Chris Rock. Anyway, so we go in the Five Guys, and we're just getting it to go, and we grab the burger, and I'm walking out, and I notice, and I'm one of these people that looks at people to try to see what celebrity they look like. And I said, oh man, I told my buddy, I said, hey, look, it's Chris Rock. And he goes, dude, that is Chris Rock. Wait, what? So I just walked up to him, and I didn't say anything. I just shook his hand, nodded my head, and walked off. And he was like, and my buddy looked back, and he said Chris Rock was going, the fuck was that? Anyway. Oh yeah, this is years before the slap heard round the world. Yeah, I hear he's nice too. I got to see him in concert. He was doing stand-up. He was doing his comedy show. This is early 90s too. Up in Oxford, Mississippi, where Ole Miss, the University of Mississippi, is. But yeah, his older comedy movies, they're like Billy Madison was pretty funny. He's like all drunk, and he starts seeing penguins. It's too hot for penguins to be walking around. Hey, you gotta give him credit. It's like, you know, Billy Madison. Yeah, Billy, you know, it's Happy Madison. It's Happy Madison is his production company. And you gotta give him credit, man. He just makes movies with his buddies. He don't give a shit how bad these movies are. They still make some money, and he's already made a shit ton of money. He doesn't need any more. Yeah, 8 Crazy Nights, Anger Management. The Waterboy is one of my favorites. With what's her name? That chick. What was his mama's name? Mama said, and she had that donkey. Every time she got, you hear that donkey go, oh. Oh, and Happy Gilmore. Oh God. Wedding Singer was good too. But Happy Gilmore. He gets in the fight with Bob Barker. Foosballs. I don't want you playing no foosball. Ah! Oh, oh. It's such stoner retarded. It's stoner goodness, right? You go back and watch that shit. If you go back and watch this shit sober, you just be like, God, this is just some dumb shit. But you know, you get nice and toasty and watch that shit. Oh my God. Fucking at the end of Happy Gilmore, he sees Chubbs. And Chubbs is dead, but Chubbs is in heaven with that alligator. And then Lincoln they just threw Lincoln in the mix. Ooh. Gatorade. Water's better. Gatorade. Oh my God. Ooh. Oh. That's a bit too much. Little Nicky. Little Nicky wasn't bad. I mean, it had its moments, I guess. Kathy Bates, yes, thank you, gamer. Kathy Bates as his mom. I don't want you playing no foosball. Oh. Foosball's the devil. Take my Van Halen t-shirt off before you jinx the band and they break up. Oh, he was in... Oh, shit. He was in a movie. Okay, somebody's going to help me out with this. Okay. So, he's in a band, and Brendan Fraser's in it. And, what's his name? Fuck. The guy in the meme. You know, hello, fellow students. Or fellow kids, or whatever he says. Oh, Steve Buscemi. Airheads. Yes. We said it at the same time, Miguel. Airheads. Yes. Airheads is a highly underrated movie. Great film. You think it's just going to be dumb as fuck. And it is, but it's in a good way. It's good stuff. You're right, gamer. A lot of people watch this show. They have old souls. You know, I'm just old, but you have old souls, and I appreciate that. So we can talk about this random stuff. And, you know, people, we have to teach these youngsters about the old days, you know. Back in my day, we didn't have Earth. We just floated around. We liked it fine. Woo. Made some nose juice there. That wasn't good. Anyway, I guess probably should wrap this up. It's almost 2:00. We're getting pretty close. But this was fun, right? Oh, UHF. Yes. UHF. That's some good shit too. That has Kramer on cocaine in it. Weird Al, I think he's the one. Melvin the Mop Boy. Spatula City. All those good things. The chick in Airheads was a little too hot for Brandon, though. Can't remember who the chick was. Anyway. But we could save this for another day. We're going to do this again tomorrow night. Miss Jimmy is going to, you racist motherfucker. You can't say that shit anymore, Sides. So tomorrow night, same bat time, same bat channels. Miss Jimmy Sunderland will be joining me for the Friday night show, the Saturday morning show, I guess, depending on where you are. And she is, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute, put a little uncle in it. Donna. I'm going to show you one thing. Hold on. Hopefully, let me see. We can do this. We can do this. All right, so I know she's probably gonna be like, no, don't do it, stop it, you're the devil. Okay, here we go. So starting Monday, I think she said this, you said it's gonna be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Jimmy. She's going to be doing this. Boom. Got a new show. I mean, Monday, October 3rd. Called What? What? So, do me a favor. If you would, Jimmy, put your link tree in the chat for us, please. So people will know where to find you. And is it Jimmy Saves World or is it Image Productions? I can't remember, but go ahead and put that in the chat for everybody so they can find you. So she's gonna be starting that next week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's gonna be like multiple hours of Jimmy. On October 3rd, that's Monday, right? That is Monday. Yeah, it's Monday. But yeah, there you go. Check out Jimmy's link tree. Be sure to subscribe to her channels. I know this. I remember starting my first show. It's always a work in progress, you know. So give her all the love and support that she needs, and she's gonna give you a great show. But she will be here tomorrow night for that. Saturday night, I don't have anybody lined up yet. We might have a surprise guest, maybe. This week is full of surprises, so we will have to see about that. So, and then, like I said, next week, there may be a secret show or something. I may throw something in the mix, before, Thursday, but no secret shows past Wednesday of next week. So that's fine. That'll give Jimmy a little bit of a breather after her marathon shows Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So you might want a little bit of a rest, and then she could get back into the swing of it the following week. So and hopefully by the end of next month, we'll have a nice little second annual Halloween show. Last year was just me, and I think we were just telling spooky stories. It was I think it was a call-in. I think we did a call-in show, and I got a couple of pity calls from my pals. I know Reef was one of them. Can't remember who else called in, but told some spooky stories. It was fun. So hopefully we'll have another fun Halloween event. When is Halloween? I know it's on the 31st. But when is it? What day is it? It is Halloween. Oh. Halloween's on a Monday night this year. Lame. Whatever. But anywho, I should probably get the fuck out of here. Denver and Dingo on the Rockfin. Thank you so much, y'all, for coming out and on such short notice. Gamer and Signs, Miguel, Jimmy, and Les Bones and Kelly. Who else we got up in here? SFT. Good to see y'all. Who else? I know Ed Heller was here earlier, or as the kids call him, E Heller. Kelly, my love. Always a pleasure to see you, doll. Maybe that's it. Punisher, thank you so much. Everybody on Twitch that showed up too. I'm not quite sure who showed up. I don't mean to be that guy. But you know, just I counted. I attribute that to old age and not remembering shit. So I think I got everybody. If I missed you, I'm so sorry. I'll let you beat me with a stick later. And I'll only charge you half price. Yona, of course, Yona. Sorry, Yona. Good to see you, brother. Yona's probably all nice and yeah, nice and toked up right now. Who knows where Yona is? He's probably halfway to Mars by now. So, Godspeed, brother. VS Adams too. Thank you so much for showing up. And a few people showing up tonight in the middle of the night on the Thursday. I was pleasantly surprised. That's pretty cool. So before we go, a few announcements, just a few quick announcements. And I'll reiterate them later in the year, but so the main show, Extra Bull, I'm not quite sure. I don't think it's going to be coming back to Thursday nights. We may move it to another night. The spaces are very crowded. I feel honored to be able to do a show like this in the middle of the night. I kind of dig the vibe. I enjoy the midnight witching hour type atmosphere. Doing the secret shows with Jimmy and Jesse on occasion and whoever else shows up. So, I think it's unique. I like it. I like the niche. I think it fits well for this time of night. The extra Bulla live is more of just like a regular show, an interview show with people. And I do miss that. I do miss talking to people. I'm trying to get some people back on to do that again soon, but we just need to find another home besides Thursday nights. I think we kind of worn out our welcome on Thursdays. Might do a daytime, maybe an evening on the weekend. I'm not quite sure how it's going to work out, but we'll see how it goes. But the bigger news is probably by January, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, these shows will be moving exclusively to Rockfin. And Rockfin, Odyssey, eventually Rumble, although the replays are on Rumble. We just don't do anything live on there. But yeah, it's getting, I haven't been really censored yet on YouTube, but things are getting worse and worse as far as like other creators in the space are concerned. And it's only a matter of time. I'm just a small fish in a tiny pond. So, and I don't really want to feed the beast on YouTube anymore. I was very glad to get a Rockfin account. Like I said, I'm close to 1,200 people following me on Rockfin, whereas like the growth on YouTube, I'm at 261 subs, which I appreciate every one of them, but I don't know, it just may be time to move on to Rockfin totally and just get away from YouTube. And I know a lot of people don't like Rockfin. I know you don't, the chat sucks on there. But hopefully it seems like they're trying to improve the service more and more. They have made improvements, and I think they really want to give YouTube a run for their money. So I hope that is the case. And, I think that it's just going to be a better spot. Like I said, it's more people want to see the show on there than they do on here, or at least more people are getting exposed to it on Rockfin than they are on YouTube. So this little icon may be going away by January. We'll see. It's just one of those things. We'll just have to play it by ear, but that's just kind of the game plan. But anyway, I'm rambling. Yes, Russell Brand got one of his videos taken down. So, if they're going after Russell Brand, pretty much everybody's fair game. You can still listen to the video on Rockfin if you minimize it. Right. But I mean, like I said, we'll still have fun here on YouTube, at least till the end of the year. And then we'll see, what's the new, you know, cause who knows what's going to be happening, by January. We may be dodging mushroom clouds. Yeah. So hopefully that's not the case. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight, watching, you know, spending the middle of the night wherever you are. I know West Coasters, what, it's like 11 o'clock where you're at now, 11:05. So it's not too late, but for everybody else, man, God love you. I appreciate you. And I love every one of you. Always will. You know, we got to stick together here in this space so we can help our pals who are doing good things, the advocates and activists and journalists who are trying to make a difference. We need to support them. At the same time, shows like this, we provide a little comedy, a little information too, but you know, just kind of bad news all the time is something people don't really need to deal with. So sometimes you need to take a little break, have a little fun, and you know, come see shows like this, you know, or Reefer After Dark, you know, when he does his shows, you know, they're pretty fun. He always has a good time on there. And, you know, we're starting to see a little bit more and more entertainment type shows in the space. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. As long as we're all, you know, on the same page, we're all trying to achieve the same goals and working together and just trying to do good things, you know. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, have a great night, everybody. Wash your ass, keep it clean, because you never know when you're gonna have a face down there trying to knock at the back door. Wait, what?
Shut up, bitch!